wheels. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Does it have gas in it? Okay.
Hey, peoples.
Hello. All right, so this one is called #You're Not Gonna Die.
Yes.
We alluded to it in an earlier episode. Do we have episodes now?
We do have episodes. I think this is episode worthy. Not this one particularly, but all of them.
Just us in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so #You're Not Gonna Die.
Yeah. Okay, so my husband, Mike, is deceased. He is, and was, I can say was now, because he is deceased.
And he is perfect and made whole.
That's right. That's right. He was an addict. Okay. And when an addict is exposed and begins recovery and counseling and all that kind of stuff, eventually you get around to this point where you're faced with this truth of that there's a co-addict.
What? No.
Yeah.
It's just his problem.
Yes. It's
If
not.
he would just fix it, I would be okay.
That's right. Right. And so, hey, that's good codependency language right there. We'll do that one on a later episode.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get a little further along in that process before I can talk about that intelligently.
So about, I don't know, it happened, ours happened hard and fast. And I think it was just, I was ready spiritually and emotionally to be faced with that, or to face that truth and have it presented to me. So the dog,
I think it's losing.
The dog wants to be in the video. I've got this giant planter out there, and she sits in it. She's dug all the dirt out of it, and she sits in it.
I love it. We'll have to show it because it's her perch. She looks like a gargoyle. Sitting in a flower pot.
She does. Okay, so I myself started recovery in the 12-step program for codependency and control and manipulation and all forms of fun stuff. So I started going to a group, and it's called an open process group, and it's just a group of men and women who are kind of in the same boat, and we process things together. You know, we go in each week with either a specific problem that we're having, or just a, in general kind of thing that we're having trouble processing through or figuring out in our life. And so one of my very first, I've been doing this now for a year and a half. Yeah.
A minute.
It's been almost 2 years now. And so one of my first times going in there, the lady, who is just fantastic and a trailblazer and leader in this community of addiction and co-addiction, said to me that it's helpful when I start to have these panic attacks, basically, of just life in general, and mainly also still dealing with the trauma of the addiction and finding everything out, is to ask yourself, am I going to die? And usually, well, every time, the answer has been no. I'm not going to die. And this hurts, but I am not going to die. And it just brings the anxiety and stress level down a whole lot when one realizes that I'm not going to die. And
it's very simple. Occam's razor. So
Yeah.
Joanna has taught this to me. I struggle a lot with anxiety and depression, and I have these weird triggers. I had this weird trigger yesterday that it has nothing to do with anything, and just all of a sudden and thank God she had told me that, and so I went in my closet and I just put my head on the wall and I was like, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. And I was able to talk myself through it in about I'd like to say 45 seconds. It may have been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Either way. I didn't die.
You're here.
Either way, I did not die in my closet.
So that's just like another tool, chainsaw, to put in your belt, is in those extreme moments.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, of panic and anxiety. Just, am I going to die?
Yeah, because it feels like you are. I mean,
Yes.
that emotion, or even, and it doesn't even have to be real things. It's kind of when we talked last time about, building these things up and
Yeah.
just convincing yourself that like this is the reality of the situation, and life can just get very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Or things as simple as going to a women's retreat and having to socialize in a room with strangers. And
Am I going to die?
I didn't die.
No, she didn't. And I would venture to say,
Almost thrived.
yes. I think she actually had a good time.
Silly. I did gain about 5 pounds.
Did you?
I did. I was mixing coffee and a pack of hot chocolate and 4 hazelnut creamers in it, and it was fabulous. It was totally worth the 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And then the pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
So, you know what I learned, though, about
But you know what? I gained 5 pounds, and guess what? I didn't die.
You didn't die. You didn't die. I went to part of this whole co-addiction thing. My husband and I both went to this place in Nashville that does,
Specializes.
in recovery and addiction. And I noticed that like every single meal was heavy food. And so at the end of it, I asked like, why? Because I gained like 5 pounds also. Yeah, but so when you're doing like trauma work like that and heavy emotional stuff, eating like that is it's soothing. It's comfort food.
Comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, it's comfort. So it's done by
Is that why I
design.
had nachos at 11 o'clock last night?
Probably.
I didn't really do any heavy work yesterday. Didn't really do any emotional work.
Well, you might not have been working specifically on it. Maybe it was working you.
Hey.
Hate it when that happens.
I feel like I get worked quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like the tail wags the dog, or the dog wags the tail, you know that saying? So maybe your tail was wagging the dog last night.
Fair enough. The nachos were good.
Yeah. That's all that really matters.
And I'd already gained 5 pounds, so who cares? Let's
Yeah.
have nachos at 11 o'clock.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So, I mean...
That's all I really have to say about it.
It's a really good tool for those of you that suffer with anxiety or get overwhelmed with life, or, your kids, not gonna die.
I'm not gonna die.
I might kill them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going
But
to
I'm
die.
not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm saying.
And they can't kill me.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
They can't. You think they can, but they can't.
They can't. No, they can't. And one must progress on
Eventually.
from I'm not going to
Well,
die.
that's Maslow's hierarchy.
Correct. Yes.
So,
This is survival.
Really
I know. We're going deep. We dive in.
So Maslow's hierarchy is a hierarchy of needs. So first you need to know that you're safe, you have shelter, you have food, and it's a pyramid. And
that you're not gonna die.
That you're not going to die.
Yeah.
That's the base of the
Wait
pyramid.
a minute.
And then you can get up to like higher level thinking. Like
Yeah. And the
making
top is like.
thoughts. And
But basically, the top of it's death, right? It's enlightenment. And,
I don't know. I don't know what the top of it is. Maybe
Yeah.
we should talk about that.
yeah. We'll do some research.
But
I'm
I thought
pretty-
it was just like higher thinking, like having an intelligent conversation.
Yeah, well, there's.
Oh, but it's needs.
There are a couple different levels of it, though. But at the
We should
top
have
of
Googled
it's
that
like
first.
yeah, the very top of the pyramids, like this little tiny
Enlightenment.
it's enlightenment, and I think
mean
that's
death?
probably
You start out not dying, and you end up dead. Well, you just chainsawed right through Maslow's hierarchy because you are gonna die.
yeah. Oh, shit. Messed this up. Let's forget that.
So just delete that whole
We'll get back to you.
Because eventually you will die.
But maybe I'm not even just stop.
But it's just not going to be as a result of your anxiety. We'll try to do better next time.